Welcome to today's show presented by JacksFan97. Today I'll be breaking down the top 5 quarterbacks for this upcoming free agency class of 2019. Let's begin. First guy on the list, um, going from 5 to 1, so number 5, this will be Teddy Bridgewater. He's 26 years old. Um, as far as stats from this past year and his best stats of his previous years, you can jump over to my top 100 free agents list. I've broken all that down for you from there. But I wanted to take some time and break down the strengths and weaknesses of every quarterback in this list, and to also just provide some feedback on where I expect this player to go and where I expect his potential and playability to be for next year. So, if Teddy Bridgewater, he is the youngest quarterback of his top 5 list. Um, Teddy Bridgewater is a game manager. He's not a guy that throws for a lot of touchdowns, doesn't throw for a lot of interceptions either. What you're looking at of Teddy Bridgewater is someone like an Alex Smith, where he can basically manage the game and not lose it for you. I do like Teddy Bridgewater's mobility, although he doesn't use his mobility as much as I think he could or should. Um, but this is a guy where I think if he goes into the right system, um, the Bills, Dolphins, teams that have a more West Coast style offense where a mobile quarterback is more uh, prevalent and useful in that offensive scheme, you're going to find Teddy Bridgewater being able to succeed. Whereas when you saw him with the Saints this past season, end of season finale, he didn't have a good game. Um, it was pretty low on his standards, regardless of the fact that he didn't play the starters. Now, number 4 on the top 5 of quarterbacks on this list is Ryan Fitzpatrick. He is the oldest quarterback at 36 years old in this top 5 list. Um, he is a guy that you can actually have as a backup or a starter. When you're looking at Ryan Fitzpatrick, um, his best seasons were with the Jets and with the Bills. The reason that was because he had a team around him. With the Bills, he had Stevie Johnson, a seventh round pick that turned into a starting wide receiver and played with the 49ers, Chargers, other teams, and he still was very productive towards the end of his career. With the Jets, he had Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall in their primes, and he was able to have pieces around him to succeed. His best year, of course, was in 2015, and even though he didn't get the team to the playoffs, it still were 10-6. So this is a quarterback that you can have start if needed, but it's preferably a backup kind of situation for him, especially at his age. I love Ryan Fitzpatrick. When his Fitz magic's going on, it's going on. But he does make poor decisions, as we saw with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past season. Number 3 on this list is quarterback Tyrod Taylor. He is 30 years old. He's probably the most mobile quarterback out of this list, besides Teddy Bridgewater. Um, I love his mobility. He's like a Michael Vick, RG3 kind of player, where if you have a team that's really run heavy and you have a deep threat, such as when Michael Vick was playing with the Eagles, he had Deshaun Jackson, RG3 with Pierre Garcon. Um, if you have that set up for Tyrod Taylor, he's going to succeed. Tyrod Taylor is a really great um, guy because he doesn't turn the ball over very much, and his quarterback rating is usually in the high 80s to the low 90s. Um, and his completion percentage is at least above 60% every game, which is wonderful. He had one of his down years with the Browns, but it's the Browns. Um, Not too surprised there. I do expect him to bounce back next year, and he'll probably be a starter as well. Number 2 on this list is quarterback Sam Bradford. Most people would disagree with me that Sam Bradford is a good quarterback. Um, I'm willing to stand up against every single person and say that he is. And he is number 2 on this list for a reason. Um, this quarterback, even though he is the most injury prone player in this league. Literally, when he is able to play a full season, he has a potential to be a top 10 quarterback. He's a guy that's thrown for, you know, just recently, 2016, uh, more than 3,000 passing yards and 71% completions. I mean, this is a guy that is a true starter, was a first overall round draft pick by the Rams for a reason. He has the ability to play at a very high level. The only issue with him is staying healthy. If he can stay healthy, most teams would want him. And I do expect that Sam Bradford will go into a backup role next year. And if that starting quarterback for that team, for example, if he goes to the Broncos, Case Keenum is struggling, you can definitely bring him in and have him start. And that'll be a very good situation for him. Now, number one on this list is Nick Foles. The reason I picked Nick Foles is because number one, he has a Super Bowl ring. Number two, most seasons that he's played at a very high level, especially the last two with 2017 and 2018. He's a great playoff player. He literally kicked out Michael Vick in 2013, where he had the wonderful 27 touchdowns, 2 interception year. Unreal. Only a few quarterbacks in NFL history have posted numbers like that. The last time before him that happened was David Garrard with his 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this is a guy that you can plug in probably in almost any situation, any scheme, any system, and he will produce very good numbers for you. He is a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, and given a very specific situation and circumstance, he can bring you back to the Super Bowl and win it again. So that's my top 5 quarterbacks for this 2019 free agent class. Thank you.